Good evening, and thank you for tuning into the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, a program that puts a searchlight on the nation's agricultural sector, showcasing the rich potentials of the sector and highlighting efforts of government and other stakeholders to develop the sector. I am Aisha Mohammed Ahmed, standing in for the anchor. The Nigerian government declared a state of emergency on food security. Towards this end, there is a renewed impetus to address critical areas that could make the vision for food security a reality. One of those critical areas is agricultural mechanization. In tonight's episode of the program, we are focusing on the importance of agricultural mechanization to food security and what government is doing differently to enhance agricultural mechanization in Nigeria. Keep watching as we explore this critical component in the quest for food security.
Every part of Nigeria has something to offer.
The program kickstarts with news from the agricultural sector. In our lineup, Niger State Governor purchases 120 truckloads of food for distribution. Also, stakeholders ready to flag off the second phase of dry season farming.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, has said that the flag-off of the release of assorted food items for the nation's food reserve will take place in Niger State. This is as the governor of Niger State, Mohammed Bago, also disclosed that the state government has purchased 120 truckloads of assorted food items to be distributed in the state alongside federal government intervention. They were both speaking in an interview held in Abuja recently. The minister said the release of food items will be distributed across the country, particularly rural communities where the National Emergency Management Agency will be actively involved.
We're targeting local governments anyway, so we'll take it to the states and then on to the local government. So it will be on the template of NEMA. NEMA is the one doing the distribution and the Office of the National Security Advisor.
On his part, the governor further stated that aside the planned distribution of food, the Niger State government would continue to support farmers to farm more in both crops, livestock and aquaculture.
Yes, we will continue to cultivate, we'll continue to farm. We're agrarian and we are tired of collecting handouts from any other person. So we're doing a lot of sensitization, a lot of education to our farmers and our rural dwellers to understand that the only way out of this crisis is to go back to agriculture.
Stakeholders who are participating in the dry season farming program have expressed readiness to flag off the second phase of dry season farming of maize, rice, among other crops across the participating states in the country. The stakeholders expressed their readiness during a meeting of the Committee of the National Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket with the Honorable Minister of Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Speaking during the meeting, the National Coordinator of the scheme, Isha Kububa, urged the stakeholders, which includes seed companies, agro-dealers, Fertilizer Producers Association of Nigeria, IT providers, among others, to ensure that all the input packages for the farmers are ready in all the redemption centers activated across the state.
The key important issue here is that for any site to be activated, the complete input package must be there. So if we are expecting urea, NPKs, and what have you, they must be at the centers. The agrochemical must be at the centers, the seed must be at the centers, and all other ones for it to be activated. It's not going to be come later for another product. No, once a farmer comes to a point, so he's coming to collect his input package.
Also speaking during the meeting, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, raised concerns over the high cost of inorganic fertilizer and urged stakeholders to make further research on the efficacy and cost-effectiveness of organic fertilizer to make fertilizer more affordable.
We need to take advantage of all the programs that we have and give in select areas where we can now test these things on on a scale and monitor it. Not only that you give the farmer, but you also see how, even places where they don't need organic, you can now start doing those research in some of our in our interventions, so that we can monitor and see the efficacy of the organic fertilizer, or whatever combination that you are even thinking of.
One of the major drawbacks in Nigeria's agricultural practice is the reliance by a significant percentage of the nation's farming population on manual labor to undertake farm jobs. These, in effect, result in low outputs and, of course, the inability of the country to produce enough to meet domestic demands for food. There is, however, a renewed impetus to change this narrative. The new thinking is to make farming activities less labor-intensive by popularizing mechanized agriculture to encourage youth in agriculture and to produce more food. In our next segment, records of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, we shall be exploring agricultural mechanization and the efforts government is making towards making mechanization more available and affordable. Keep watching.
Agricultural mechanization or mechanized agriculture is the use of machinery and equipment ranging from simple and basic hand tools to a more sophisticated motorized equipment and machinery to perform agricultural operation, be it land preparation, cultivation, planting, harvesting, storage, processing, value addition, and marketing.
Value addition.
The Deputy Director, Mechanization Division of the Federal Department of Agriculture in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Engineer John Temdre, tells us more about agricultural mechanization.
Mechanization is just the use of machineries, motorized and whatsoever. In the olden days, what we have actually inherited from our forefathers is the use of hoe and cutlasses, which has actually has a lot of drudgery. But with the use of machine, now those drudgeries actually has been drastically reduced.
Mechanization entails the processing of agricultural machinery. Not just production, it's not just use of tractor, it's beyond tractor. Every equipment that you use in agriculture, right from land preparations to processing, is all what is known as mechanization.
The benefits of agricultural mechanization include, among others, increased yield of crops and land productivity, efficient development of land for agricultural purposes, reduced drudgery, prevention of post-harvest losses, enhancement of value addition, among others.
If mechanization is fully involved, you see that the level of our production will almost double. Because one, the yield will increase and more land will be put into cultivation. By the time you do that, you find out that there will be much more than what the country even needs, and will be in a position to even export to our neighboring countries. So imbibing mechanization will definitely save the country from
To drive the benefits in agricultural mechanization in Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has a mechanization division under the Federal Department of Agriculture of the ministry. The Director, Mechanization, Engineer Sule Ovajimo Majid in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security sheds light on the mandate of the division.
Our mandate is just to actualize the mechanization policy or issues of the ministry. Anything that has to do with mechanization is, at our doorstep, and all we need to just to take directive from our principals, and we'll carry it out. Anything that has to do with mechanization.
Mechanization in Nigeria is confronted with many challenges ranging from inadequate tractors and other machineries, lack of machine operators, shortage of service providers, high cost of tractors and other machineries, poor funding mass mechanization, high risk in agricultural practices, among others.
the tractor density in Nigeria is very, very low. The tractor density in Nigeria is 0.03 against the World Bank recommendation of 1.5 horsepower per hectare. So it means that we are lagging behind in terms of machinery. So for us to be able to bridge that gap, we need to do a lot. We need to engage private sector since government cannot actually fund the taxation need of Nigeria due to the capital intensity that is required.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is making efforts to address these challenges and to make agriculture less reliant on manual labor to ensure food security, create jobs, and diversify the nation's economy. The efforts are in policies, programs, and interventions from the government and partnership with the private sector to enhance mechanization. One of the renewed efforts of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to enhance mechanization is the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between Tata John Deere and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to produce 2,000 tractors yearly in Nigeria for 5 years, which would make tractors and tractor services more available in Nigeria.
Of today, less than.
Speaking during the signing of the MOU, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, stated that the Nigeria agricultural sector has been under-mechanized and the MOU with the tractor manufacturing company would make tractor available and affordable to farmers. The minister added that the target is to mechanize at least 1.6 million hectares of land every year.
And also, John Deere is also bringing capacity building because they have the experience apart from bringing in the equipment and the implements. They also want to train our artisans, our mechanics to maintain those equipments. Tractors without after-sales service is not a tractor. Usually a tractor lasts here in Nigeria without any adequate care, lasts not more than 2 or 3 years, as we all know it. But I think they have a record of having tractors being sustained years on end. And I believe that will be the partnership that will bring about capacity building and also transfer of knowledge to our farmers.
And this would not only enhance easy farming, but also create jobs and ensure food security in Nigeria.
We focus on mechanization for yield improvement and for bringing more hectares into production for Nigeria to improve food security. We focus on access for finance to enable end-use contractors and SMEs to purchase these assets, to put them to productive use to serve their customers. We focus on the reliability and repair of this equipment to keep it operational. And we focus on the technology and training to support the entire ecosystem and ensure that we're upskilling all of the people that are involved in this ecosystem with a focus on women and youth as well. We do all of this working in conjunction with the ministry and also with our dealer in Nigeria, Tata Nigeria, who is on the ground every day to make these things a reality.
Aside the MOU with the tractor manufacturing company, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is also working hard to bring the bilateral agreement between the Federative Republic of Brazil under the Green Imperative Program to fruition.
The Green Imperative Program is a program that has, has seen about 4 ministers. It's all started from, Chief Audu Ogbe, who tried, to see the takeoff of the program. Unfortunately, there are some just gray areas which both Brazilian government and the Nigerian government tried to resolve, and that has been dragging on up to this very moment. But when this present regime came on, the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has shown strong interest in the program. And he has mandated the ministry and the Ministry of Finance with, Debt Management Office to work out all the modalities for the program to take off. Okay, once the program takes off, it's something that is going to revolutionize the agricultural sector of the country.
The Green Imperative program is expected to provide beyond tractors and make available other machineries and services.
It is a program where the Brazilians are supposed to give us about 10,000 tractors, a plus of 10,000 tractors and 50,000 assorted machineries for post-harvesting. So, but it is at a cost. It's not free. It's about 1.1 billion US dollars. Okay, so that arrangement is still on because as the new regime has come in, they saw it on the ground and actually they have taken interest on it.
Aside these policies and programs, the ministry in 2023 flagged off the tractorization program, which is a public-private partnership arrangement where tractor sellers would make tractors available to farmers on loan through the help of the Bank of Agriculture and the ministry.
Presently, we're having, what we call a tractorization program, okay, of the government. That is, it is a PPP arrangement between the private sector, the ministry, Bank of Agriculture. Unfortunately, it has not fully taken off, and when it takes off fully, I believe every farmer that desires a tractor will have opportunity of getting one. Okay, the ministry, the government is not going to pay for, the tractors. It is the private sector that brings the tractor, which the farmer pays for over a period of time.
One of the challenges of the tractorization program is the high risk involved in the agricultural sector, as some of the tractor owners reneged on bringing in the tractors as agreed. But the ministry, under the leadership of the Minister Senator Abubakar Kyari and the Minister of State Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, is working to de-risk the sector by bringing in the Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending (NIRSAL), which should make investors to be more comfortable in investing in the tractorization program and other agricultural lending issues.
So that
Speaking during the meeting between the Ministry of NIRSAL, the Managing Director, Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, Umar Abbas Masanawa, stated that NIRSAL has the mandate to share credit risk with the providers of finance and investment, developing innovative insurance products to beneficiaries, building the capacity of financial institutions and agricultural value chain players, rating lenders and value chain actors according to their effectiveness, and providing incentive to value chain actors and lenders. Umar then sought for collaboration with the ministry in delivering the mandate of the organization in de-risking and stimulating financial investment into the agricultural sector.
So the essence of this discussion today is how we can be able to collaborate together. There's so much we can be able to do together. While innovation of Central Bank, we are willing to play as a catalyst. We are willing to play as a role that we can be able to play so we can be able to move the agri-space forward.
Since that meeting with NIRSAL, a committee has been set up between the ministry and NIRSAL to de-risk the agricultural sector. Aside the aforementioned effort, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has also on several occasions bought and distributed agricultural machineries to farmers at a subsidized rate to enhance mechanization in the country.
For some years now, the ministry has been trying in that direction. Talk of small, equipment like threshers, even power tillers. The ministry normally buys them, subsidize them at times up to 90% subsidy. We give out to farmers, they pay just the 10% and take. Okay, there's some cooperatives, if you have farmers union, you come, you are giving at that subsidy, you pay and you take for your own use. And some of even our units, we try to even teach some of the farmers on how to use some of this equipment.
In case you're just tuning in, the program is Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, and we have been discussing the mechanization of agriculture in Nigeria. In our next segment, Partnership for Development, we shall be focusing on the partnership between the ministry and other stakeholders to enhance mechanized agriculture in Nigeria. Keep watching.
The Nigeria Center for Agricultural Mechanization, NCAM, an arm of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, has developed a rich array of local technologies that have empowered farmers over the years, and the ministry works together with Center to transfer these technologies to farmers and others in the value chain. Some of the field equipment developed by NCAM to aid land preparation and planting are 30 horsepower tricycles, 40 horsepower medium-sized tractors, furrow planters on tractor mount, and rice transplanters in the pipeline, among others. Some processing machines developed are integrated rice milling machine capable of producing 1.5 tons per hour, mini rice sheller, groundnut decoction with a capacity of 1 ton per hour, hammer mill for maize, cassava, beans, and other grains, cassava sifted with production capacity of 1 ton per hour, automated gari frying machine, winnowing machine, coffee processing unit, oil palm processing line, melon sheller with separator, 2.5 ton capacity meat sheller, 50 kilograms smoking clean for smoking meat, chicken, and fish, and coconut dehusking machine, including coconut oil processor. These laudable technologies have been deployed and are in use by farmers locally and even beyond.
When African Rice, a training organized by international organization, they had to use this center to conduct the training to train other African countries in the production of threshers. And let me tell you, recently, in the whole of 23 West and Central African countries came together for a meeting and decided to make NCAM the center of excellence in agricultural mechanization in the whole of West Africa and Central Africa countries.
Aside the production of locally made equipment for mechanization, the ministry is also working with NCAM to certify other mechanization equipment brought into the country, and the center also helps in training the farmers on how to use the technologies.
We actually have a kind of collaboration with some other like fabricators and other stakeholders that actually bring in some of these machineries. New innovative machineries. Most of the time, even they write to us. They write to us that this is a new innovation, and they want us to collaborate with them, so that they will be able to actually sell the idea to farmers.
The federal government alone cannot address the issues of mechanization of agriculture in Nigeria. It requires concerted effort of state government across the country to change the narrative for better.
Agriculture is on the concurrent list. The federal government doesn't own the farm. That lies with the state and the local government. The onus lies definitely with them to see how they can get this mechanization means to the farmers. At the federal level, whatever assistance is needed, the federal government is always ready to render that assistance. But we need the state government to take the bull by the horn and provide some of these mechanical aids for the farmers.
While the federal and state governments as well as the private sector are making efforts to enhance agricultural mechanization at affordable price, it is advised that youths should take advantage of the technologies and engage in agriculture.
The truth is that Nigeria cannot feed over 200 million people with hoes and cutlasses. All hands must be on deck to enhance agricultural mechanization in the country if food security is to be achieved. This is where we draw the curtains on tonight's episode of the program. Remember that if you missed any of our episode, you could get a rebroadcast on our YouTube channels and other social media platforms showing on your screen. I am Aisha Muhammad Ahmed. Have a wonderful night rest and bye for now.